would you want the story to be about tonight?
About a superhero.
A superhero? What kind of superhero?
A superhero mm, that used to be flexible but not anymore.
Hmm.
And he tried and tried but got back.
Okay. Hmm. Hmm. Okay. This is a story about a superhero named Stretchy Boy. And the Stretchy Boy would have the capacity to stretch and stretch and reach very far away places or strange places. And he would do superhero stuff, but not the kind that you think. He would be the one that if you dropped your keys down the gutter, for example, he would stretch his arm and reach back and get it. Or if your kitty was up on a tree, he would stretch and get the kitty from the branch. Those kinds of things. Until one day, someone saw him perform his superhero actions and thought, ooh, we need a superhero like you in our part of town. But their part of town was way up north where it was super, super cold. And Stretchy Boy had no idea that when it was cold, he was not as stretchy. And so they hired Stretchy Boy to be the town's protector up north, very far away. Um, and they would pay for his trip and they would pay for his accommodation so he could have a home. And all he had to do was patrol the town and help others. And so he agreed. He thought that that would be a great adventure, an opportunity to get to know new places and new people. And so he took an airplane and he started flying north. And he kept going and going and going and going and going. The trip was like 8 hours long going in an airplane north. By the time he arrived, he had no idea. But this place was freezing cold. It was so cold that first of all, he had to wear like 3 jackets on top of him. So now he looked ridiculous. And nobody thought that he was like a superhero. All they saw was a boy with a bunch of clothes and always shivering and cold. But nonetheless, he needed to prove himself. So, first thing he did out of the airplane was get down the airplane and start helping people uh, get off the airplane without sliding on the ice. But suddenly, there was an old lady that was about to slide, and he tried to stretch his hand, but his hand didn't stretch, and instead, it started cracking. And nobody noticed that. And he thought, oh no, this is terrible. My superhero powers. What am I going to do? If other people see this, they're going to notice I am no superhero and they're just going to send me back. And it's all going to be for nothing. And so he pretended like everything was working. But as soon as he finished with his superhero chores for the night, he went to his hotel and started thinking, what should I do? How can I fix this? And he came up with an idea. He went to a hardware store and he bought one of those things to reach. You know those sticks that have like claws at the end?
No.
The ones that we use to pick up the Nerf gun bullets or to pick up pine cones outside.
Oh yeah.
It's just like a stick with a claw at the end and that you push. Anyways, and because he had so many layers of clothes, he managed to conceal that under his clothes. But he didn't know how to use those too well. It's not the same to use your own hands as it is to use those things. And on top of that, those things were hidden inside of his clothes, so they were even harder to manipulate. So, for example, one night he was trying to help a lady across the street, but instead of reaching out and grabbing the lady's arm, he pinched her butt. And the lady was like, ah, this guy is reaching for my butt. You, get out of here. And he was so embarrassed and he was like, sorry, sorry. Ew, I don't want to see you. This guy is terrible. He pinched my butt. And so the superhero thought to himself, oh no, I need to learn how to use these things. But he had no clue how to use those things. I mean, he had been using his hands all the time. So he came up with a different idea. You know those hand warmers that they're like pouches that you open and they start getting hot? Well, he decided to use those. And so he went out at night, and when it was time to play superhero, he opened one of those. Oh, actually, he opened like 10 of those and threw them all inside of his clothes. That way, he would be very warm and could stretch. And suddenly, there was an emergency. Someone had dropped something inside from a bridge, and they asked for the superhero of the town to come reach down. And he tried this, but when he did, he realized that those things were super hot and he was burning, and so he started jumping and dancing around like he was trying to move those pouches that were inside of his clothes that were burning him all over the place. But people didn't know that, and so they thought he was just dancing and making fun of everybody. And everybody was like, you, what kind of superhero are you? I need help, and you're here dancing. And he was like, ouch, 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 ouch. But someone filmed that. And instead of the people becoming and making fun of this, it became so popular. And it became this superhero dance. And before you know it, everybody around the world had seen the video. And they were doing the superhero dance. Ouch, 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 ouch. Dancing and shaking all over the place. Of course, they didn't know that he had those hot pouches inside. He thought to himself, this is a disgrace. This is terrible. Nothing is working. What should I do? And so he came up with an idea. He would disguise himself as a regular person, and he started doing normal superhero stuff that didn't require special powers. When somebody needed to change a tire on the side of the road, he would just go there and help. When somebody needed help carrying groceries from the store because they were too heavy, he would go and help. When somebody needed help delivering food to the poor or helping people that were lost, he would be there and help. And he started making tons of friends. And things started working out great for him. But the problem was he wasn't using his superhero powers. So nobody knew that he was the superhero that was actually helping them. And so the mayor of the town came to visit one day to his hotel. And he said, you know, stretchy boy, we know we hire you to be the town superhero, but we don't see you doing any stretchy superhero things. So I think we're just gonna part ways and send you back to your hometown. And Stretchy Boy realized that he could still do great things without others knowing it. It didn't have to be a public thing. He could just be a superhero to strangers without the strangers knowing who he was. And he was really happy about that. And so he said to the mayor, Mayor, not a problem. I fully understand this. He never told him that he had been helping a lot of people. And with his new superpowers, he came back home. And now he had two superpowers, being super nice to everybody and also being the stretchy boy. And so he became the anonymous superhero that nobody knew, but he was always there to help people. And people started speaking rumors about an awesome super guy that appeared when everybody needed him. And that was him, but nobody knew it was him because he did it all in secret. And that's the story of Stretchy Boy, the superhero that stretched, but then he couldn't stretch anymore. The end.
Yay.
Okay. Time for night-night, pequeño.